Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. Tune in for a vibrant mix of fashion, finance, and life's essential foundations. Join us for expert interviews, insightful discussions, and empowering insights to elevate your lifestyle. From fashion trends to financial tips and personal growth strategies, we've got you covered. So, grab your headphones and get ready to be inspired. Tune in now to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show and embark on this exciting journey with us.
We are back. Welcome back to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. I am your host, M. Teresa Lawrence. I am here with Steve Matley, and when we left off, we were talking about the capstone year of the students he teaches and the competitions that take place around the country on building. And he was going to share what they competed in.
Right. So this year they did a design build custom home project, and it was put together by the National Association of Home Builders, which is a national association of residential contractors and developers. And they actually put on the single largest construction and design based conference expo in the country every year, and that's where the students do their competition. So they're right there in front of the industry. And we've done different competitions in the past through other organizations, ASC and DBIA and groups like that. This one, they wanted to do the homes. I had a group that was specifically interested in residential. So they started, actually, our term doesn't start in the fall until October, but they started in August. They came in during the summer, started in August because, see, the rest of the world starts in August, and that's when the competitions get released, right? So I don't want them starting behind, 6 weeks behind everybody else. So they work outside of class time up till then, and then when they got into class, when we started this, they had already told me that was the project they want to work on, which was fine. They still had plenty of work to do. So they'd done all the market research and their kind of their land choice at that point, and now they were going into design. So I had 2 architect students, an interior architect and design student, and about 6 or 7 construction management students that were on this team. And they were also the class. And I had a couple people that were in the class that decided not to go out to the competition because they already had jobs and families and stuff, but they participated in putting everything together. Okay. So they were part of the project team, they just didn't go present. And that's what they did. They worked all through the fall, and then they delivered it, one version of it as the final exam for their capstone for the class, and I had a panel of faculty and industry people they presented to and evaluate them based on the course rubric. Then they repackaged everything into what the competition needed, which was a much more condensed version of it, no more than 20 pages. And they submitted that in the second week of December to the national competition judges. Then they spent, when they came back from the break in the new term, they spent January and most of February putting the presentation together, the slide deck and the dog and pony show, right? And they worked on that. The graphics they needed, did some fantastic graphics and video fly-throughs of their project. It was really phenomenal. And then I had them do 2 practice sessions, again, in front of both faculty and industry, but this time under the competition rules, 10 minutes presentation, 10 minutes Q&A, very tight. Well, their presentation, according to the judges, was by far the single best of anybody out there. They came in 4th place, and the judges said the top 5 teams were separated by no more than about 4 points.
That is so impressive.
So it was really tight. And then I went through, actually in class with them last week, I went through, this is what the judging sheets we got back. And we talked and we said, okay, it looks like you missed a couple points here, missed a couple points there. And I said, this was a phenomenal project, but for whatever reason, you lost, like if you lost half a point here and you lost a quarter of a point here, that maybe that's all it took to keep you off that podium because someone else, maybe they weren't perfect, but they didn't miss that point. And so we had to talk through that. And I told them, but every single judge said you were by far the best presentation. But the presentation was only 20%.
Like you can just tell you're so satisfied with what you do with that.
Yeah, I was disappointed on their behalf, honestly, that they didn't get on the podium because, coming out of the industry, I looked at what was over there, and I haven't seen their packages, so I can't say to it. But I looked and said, you guys were phenomenal. You guys had a better design and a much better presentation, but that's only 20% of it. But they learned. That was the most important thing they learned, and they really bonded as a team.
It sounds like, for me, listening to you speak, I have really my interpretation of home builders and what they have to go through and what they're putting out there. I mean, it's changed. I mean, this was a really good presentation, and now I'm like, wow. When I enter a home and these people have the licenses to do what they're doing, I know I'm going to get high quality work.
If it's a good team, yeah.
So, Okay, Steve, if people want to get a hold of you and work with you, where do they find you?
So my company website is coast2coast.com, which is spelled coast, C-O-A-S-T, with a dash and a number 2, and then C-O-A-S-T. So coast-2coast.com, the 2 is a number 2. My email is the same, Matley, S-M-A-T-L-E-Y, at coast-2coast.com. They can contact me either of those ways. I do teach classes for the SDCIA, which is the San Diego Creative Investors Association. In fact, tomorrow I'm doing a syndication workshop for them, part of a 6-part series. So, and that's a group of real estate investors, and I speak at a lot of those investor associations. So I'm out there well beyond the school. I do a lot of education as part of my company as well, and because I believe investors do better when they're knowledgeable and confident and comfortable in what they're doing. And again, knowledge creates the confidence.
So once again, disclaimer, I have invested with Steve, and now you know why. You have just been educated on stand-up comedy, on teaching, and on real estate, and we've had a very good time. Thank you, Steve, for joining me today.
Thank you, Teresa. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Yes, it's been a very fun time. Thank you all for joining me. If you want to watch the replay, we are available on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and the Android app. And remember, just subscribe to Building Solid Foundations. I am your host, M. Teresa Lawrence, and I can be reached at mteresalawrence.com. mteresalawrence.com. Thank you so much.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Connect, and Building Solid Foundations.